we did a confirm or deny earlier, Bob, where we asked, if McDavid keeps scoring like this, if he gets to 70, is it fair to compare it to the Gretzky 92-goal season in the early 80s? Is there a comparison?
I'm not sure I'm not a big numbers guy, but I know enough to know that to get 70 in this NHL, and it's really special. So, yeah, I'm not sure what all the relative adjusted numbers are. You can go on Hockey Reference for adjusted for the era and all that sort of thing. But he's just remarkable. He really is. There's never been anyone else like him. The closest thing that and you're right, because Gretzky was a great one, because Gretzky's point totals were just like so much better than he every year he could win the scoring title just on his assists. He didn't need to score any goals, but he'd score 90 or 92 or whatever, just for an exclamation point. So it was silly in some ways, but you still, even when he was doing that, then Mario came along and you had a legitimate case. Mario's 6'4", and he's got all this skill, and he's otherworldly, and who's better? And you could legitimately go back and forth on that sort of thing. So as much as statistically Gretzky dominated, and I'm a big Gretzky guy, the closest comparison for somebody, and we had this quiz, we had the question on the quiz last night. The quizmaster likes to ask the question, is McDavid the most highly evolved player of all time? Because he doesn't want to stray into the who's best and who do you like, who's your favorite or who's best. Right. So, but the highly evolved part of it appeals to me, because the last guy that I think was so much more highly evolved than all his peers, and it wasn't even close, was Bobby Orr. So, like, when you see the video of Bobby Orr and he's skating around people and he's circling the net 6 times and people are chasing after him and he's doing stuff, and you're saying, like, nobody can even play with this guy. And that's the biggest comparable for me, watching McDavid when he gets those pucks and there's 3 guys there and he just skates between them and he twists and he boom and he explodes off and he's dynamic. For me, there's been nobody I've ever seen that processes the game as quickly as McDavid does, and then has the hands and the dynamic speed and power to just separate himself from everybody. And so it's funny, there's some people in the sports medicine business that I know pretty well, and they say there's actually a scan that you can do now for athletes, and it's a scan at the base of your brain. And at the base of your brain, if you do a scan of your brain and at the base, there's a specific scan that they can do now, and it's all these neurons and whatever, and it shows different levels of concentration of something or other. And they said McDavid's scan is like off the charts. Like you take his scan and you show it to somebody else. It's like a heat map.
Right.
It's like, what is that? And then there's somebody else got a few specks over here. And I was told that the other guy who was in that same sort of, and this was 5-7 years ago, was the McCaffrey dude in the national,
Christian McCaffrey,
league.
Wow.
And it's funny because then I don't know the other sports very well. But I've seen the video of that guy training, and he's like jumping 10 feet in the air on boxes, and he's doing all this training, and it's like explosive speed, power, and then you see him play, and it's like, catching traffic, speed, power, running, and it's the same thing with McDavid. So when you talk about highly evolved, it's crazy to say it, but that's the central processing unit that drives everything that McDavid does. And then on top of that, he's got all the muscle fiber and the fast twitch, slow twitch, and all the other stuff I don't understand that separates him. He's unique.
There's a Trade Center bit next year. Strap one of those concentration meters
to see who's
still got it by noon. By 1 o'clock.
Who's going to be the star of that show again?
Or Brucey.
There's a lot of potential stars over there, but O's concentration meters the day goes on. Could be a great bit.